Welcome back to the Arizona Daily Mix. You might be out looking for a house going, well, where are they all at? Well, the person to help us answer that question is Eric Gibbs of the Arizona Association of Realtors, and he actually is the first vice president of the Arizona Association of Realtors. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing excellent.
Good.
And good morning to everybody.
Before we came on, you kind of like told me that like the housing market has been booming, and we're looking for inventory, and you're saying it's kind of hard right now, even down in Tucson.
Yes, it's for the last year, probably more than about the last year and a half, even longer. Our inventory has been decreasing just about every month. And you know, you think about last year, and here we are in a pandemic, and it was booming. I mean, people were buying. What COVID. So but yet the inventory has not increased. It has continued to decrease, and what has made it very difficult for buyers to purchase. Some properties that come on the market are getting anywhere from 8, 9, 10, 11 offers, within a day of going on the market, going live.
So where do you think everyone's coming from to do this? If we're not looking in our own backyard to shop and the houses are going away, is it from other states they're coming in and loving Arizona?
Yes, we're in an ideal situation here in the Southwest of the United States. We got perfect weather, just about 12 months a year, right? I mean, we get a little cold spell and we're breaking out, parkas and stuff. But but really, we are in an ideal spot. And what's happening is California, Washington, Oregon, from the East Coast, people are starting to see this and want to and our cost of living is a little better because they can buy more house for less money. And so and that's what's driving people into the state right now.
All right, let's talk some do's and don'ts. And one don't is buy a house from someone who is not associated with realtors, because they might so-called have a license or might even have a license, and they might not be the best person to go to. Am I right on that part?
Yes, yes, you are right on that. I mean, I can't say you can't do that, but it'd be recommended that you don't do something like that. You want a professional that's licensed and associated with all three associations. That would be the local association, our state association, as well as our national association. And that's what because we as realtors are held to a code of ethics. I mean, a strict code of ethics, and so that we're doing business the right way for the consumer.
Yeah, and also I can say this, Eric, is that you guys know some of the, I don't want to call them loopholes, but the tax breaks that people can get while they are shopping around for houses, buying or selling, that maybe someone else doesn't know, because as you said, you guys have to go through all that training to learn that stuff.
Well, let me just say this to you. When it comes to the taxes, we as realtors really don't talk about tax breaks because we're not tax, CPAs. We stay within our lane, which is to be a realtor. Of a client asked me, hey, can I, even a simple question is, if I buy this house, am I able to write off my interest? My line to them would be, you got to talk to a CPA. I know the answer, but that's not what I do. I'm a licensed to be a realtor, not a CPA. So I would definitely refer them to a tax person.
All right. Thank you for correcting me on that right there. I'm glad you did.
No problem.
But you're also important about fair housing. That is one thing you really like to let people know that you are totally for.
Yes, and rightly so. I mean, it's so important. Over the last 6 months, there's been a lot of information that has come out about fair housing. And if you take it and go back to pre-World War II, there's a lot of information that has talked about what has happened since fair housing and what it meant, and what it means today. I'm going to be honest with you. Unfortunately, there's still realtors out there that are still practicing some type of discrimination, and it shouldn't be. I work very hard to teach my agents to ensure that they're doing the right things by their clients. No matter what the color or the color of their skin or where they come from, we want to make sure that sellers and buyers are doing the right things when it comes to fair housing and ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to buy.
Yeah, and
where they want to live.
I'm so glad you corrected me on the tax part there, and I think that's very important because, again, I'm one of those people who thinks that, you know, the realtor is going to help me on that part, and finding out that no, you guys are staying in your lane, and you talk with your accountant and everything about that kind of
Right.
situation. That's
Right.
awesome. Okay, tell them how they can find out more about what your team does, and especially about the fair housing market.
So basically, most realtors are very professional, and we ensure that we're taking a listing. We ensure that the seller understands that in taking that listing, that they are selling this home to anyone who comes. We ensure that things like questions. Sometimes the sellers want to know, what their familiar status is, or what kind of where do they come from. Those things are not important when you're going to buy a house. It's important that if you want to sell the house, you want to sell the house, and it should be to anyone who has the ability to purchase the home. They have to be pre-qualified and go through everyone has to do that. And so same thing with buyers. Buyers need to have to know that they can purchase a home and no one's going to discriminate against them because they're from the Middle East, or they're a single father or a single mom who has children, and that's a protected class. And so we try to make sure we're educating the buyers and the sellers on a daily basis, and ensuring that we are doing the right things when it comes to fair housing.
All right. Eric, I'm glad you stopped by to help us understand a little bit more, and I know we have information right there on the screen on how they can get a hold of you to learn more about what we've been talking about here. So, Eric, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me this morning. Have a great rest of your day.
You
Thank
too.
you. Okay, bye now.